If Injustice Mobile ever got a real update again, this is exactly what I would want to see changed. I'm gonna go over some bug fixes, new game modes, and content that would actually make the game fun again. But before we get started, this video is sponsored by W Energy, more on them later. Let's start with the boring but necessary stuff. Bug fix. The Eris breakthrough bug needs to go. For whatever reason this happens, and now you're stuck having to wait for your characters to recharge and try again later. Battle 64 seems like another obvious one. It's broken, you can't complete it, it needs to be fixed. And whatever this is, yeah, this also needs fixing. None of this is exciting, but it's the bare minimum we need in a future update. Now that we got the obvious stuff out of the way and the game is stable, the biggest issue becomes content, or rather, the lack of good content. If you've played MK Mobile, you already know about the Crypt. It's a survivor style mode, it's engaging, and it actually feels rewarding. Injustice needs something like that. Right now, Phantom Zone is just grind on top of grind. Same objectives, same structure every single time. It's not fun. It's a chore and it's super grindy. Replacing Phantom Zone with a Crypt style mode, or even just adding one alongside it, would instantly make grinding for metal cards feel less miserable. This way we get the same rewards but with better gameplay. Another game mode I would straight up copy from another NetherRealm game is raids. Raids are basically the only reason I ever played Injustice 2, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And the reason is simple, they work. It's fun and it's rewarding. The idea is simple. Massive boss characters, millions of health, entire leagues or clans working together towards defeating said bosses. This would introduce a real cooperative play in Injustice 1. Bosses would obviously need immunity to damage over time, otherwise it would be trivial. But done properly, raids could be another high skill, high effort way to earn rare rewards like metal characters, exclusive cards, maybe even content we haven't been able to obtain for years. Characters like Dawn of Justice Batman, which has been unobtainable since update 3.2. The update that quietly turned the game into a cash grab before being abandoned, which leads perfectly into the next change I would make. Making the game free to play again. One of the best things about old Injustice Mobile was that everything was obtainable for free. It wasn't easy, it wasn't fast, but it was possible, and that made it rewarding. Update 3.2 killed that by locking packs behind real money. If I had control of a new update, every pack that used to cost in-game currency would go back to costing credits. Just look at this. This is the old store, and it's way better. I'd also bring back double credits weekends. Right now we only get double XP, which is almost useless once your roster is built. These little things that make the game so good, and it's little improvements that would keep it alive. Little quality of life improvements such as autoplay. Both Injustice 2 and MK Mobile have it. It would make grinding challenges you've already completed infinitely less painful. Same goes for team loadouts. Let me save teams I use often and swap between them instantly. Grinding shouldn't feel this painful and slow. I don't need to waste 20 seconds swapping teams and gears for every 20 seconds of gameplay I get. I mentioned packs going back to being free to play. Some of them need serious rebalancing though. Take the Most Wanted pack for example. Cyborg and Prime Batman have absolutely no business being in that pack anymore. I'd much rather see cards like New 52, Superman, or Wonder Woman in there. Packs should feel exciting again. I don't need to spend over 20 real life dollars for some old trash gold cards. It sucked when it was 600,000 power credits, and it absolutely sucks at 20 real life dollars. Another pretty obvious addition with a new update would be new characters, but they don't all need to be gold or metal. I would love to see new silver and even bronze cards. The state the game is in right now, everyone basically has the same exact early game experience due to the lack of bronze and silver cards. So I think it would really help the Injustice experience if we had new bronze and silver cards added. Some characters, on the other hand, only have a single extremely outdated gold card. Take Cyborg or Zatanna for instance. And other characters are straight up unusable, Zod being a perfect example. I would add a few new gold cards, a small number of new metal cards, and also new silver and bronze cards. That alone would shake up the game more than people realize, but I'll probably do an entire separate video on this. Anyways, the worst part is, there are unreleased characters and unreleased gear already sitting in the game files. Let's face it, we're never getting a full update like this. That's obvious. But there's no reason this content couldn't be released as is. A new Ares alone would be huge, but there's also a Silver Shazam, which perfectly supports earlier points about silver cards having a place in the game. And the gear is probably the most insane part of it. Take the Crown of Krypton. it gives you a chance to receive a random pack after a battle. Even if packs stayed partially paywalled, adding this gear alone would massively help free-to-play players. I think it could work decently as a compromise of sorts. Next on the list is character reworks. Some cards are useless, like the earlier mentioned Zod. Not because they're old, but because their passives and or stats are terrible. Small reworks would add massive variety. A perfect example is Prime Darkseid. His passive is cool, but it's not enough to make bronze characters viable. Expanded to silver characters, suddenly cards like Silver Deathstroke, which is genuinely a great design and I wish I could use them online, becomes a usable card in any game mode. That's a whole new meta without adding a single new card. Moving on, we got a couple more quick fire ones, starting with story mode. It needs an actual endgame. I would add page 10, fully geared enemies, extremely high stats, damage over time immune fights. Make it something players actually have to prepare for. I would add a 4th difficulty to challenge mode and call it legendary. Instead of another character copy, legendary difficulty rewards a character promotion ticket of sorts, usable to promote any version of that one specific character. Legendary difficulty fights would have strategically geared enemies, inflated stats similar to the before mentioned page 10, a dead zone modifier where all passives are disabled, dot immunity, and maybe evolved metal cards appear. I would also bring back old challenges. Multiplayer needs fairness more than anything. Matchmaking should consider gear score, not just stats. You could introduce a sort of fight rating score, where not only the stats are considered for the matchmaking, but also the gear score and other metrics. This would be the fight rating score, and you get paired up against people within a certain range of it. Let players set a defensive team separate from the offensive one they use. Losing a match should also hurt. If you lose the battle rating you would have earned, and quitting still counts as a loss. And ultimately, I would combine iOS and Android players into the one same pool. Before I close up the video, as I mentioned earlier, today's video is sponsored by W Energy. W is a no sugar, no artificial dyes energy drink that gives you clean energy without the jitters or the crashes. It's delicious and worth every penny. If you want to support the channel, checking them out is the best way, and you can use code ANDYMIG at the checkout for 10% off. Link is in the description and pinned comments. Okay, so back to what I was saying. None of this is unrealistic because none of this requires reinventing the game. It's just fixing what's broken, improving what already exists, and pasting in game modes copied from their other games. If this update ever happened, I genuinely think Injustice Mobile would feel alive again. But it never will. Let me know what you would change, what you would keep. Do you agree with my takes or do you think I'm dumb? Let me know your opinions in the comments.